It's payday, so let's go ahead and budget out my bi-weekly paycheck from my full-time job and my income from my content creation money that I got paid this week as well, using the cashless budgeting system. Let's get right into it. Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Nikki. If you are returning, welcome back. Now, of course, we got to pull out the budget workbook because this is another budgeting video. Not only do I want to show y'all how to make money online, but I also want to show you how to budget the money that you are receiving. So I hope that you are taking me as inspiration to not only just make some extra money on the side, but also budget out that money. So the first thing that I do is I'm going to go ahead and turn over to my paycheck budget worksheet. I'm going to prop it on the screen right here so y'all can walk through this actually with me. We start off by putting the date at the top of the paper because we want to know what day do we get paid. I'm sure we already know the information, but for the sake of this video, we're going to put the date at the top of the page, which my payday is January 16th. Now, I've already gotten paid from content creation, so I wanted to just include all of that money so I can show you exactly how I actually separate this money from my full-time job. Now usually I just leave it in the account. Of course, it goes into a business account. I have transferred this content creation stuff into a business because it's getting to that point where you're making life-changing money, I guess you would say. So the first thing that I always do is write down what is remaining in my account. I check in with my finances on Thursday night when it comes to me being paid on that Friday, and then I check in with what I've spent for the week on Sundays to make sure that I'm not going over the budget, to make sure that I have everything accounted for that has cleared through my banking account, and so I know how much money do I have left for that upcoming week. So the remaining portion, what I budget for, of course, the lowest amount that you can actually budget for what is left over in your account is $0. But I actually had $223.41, and you're gonna see me when I continue on doing these type of videos. You're gonna always see that I always have money remaining left over in my account because that's just typically how I just do things. I'm not going to say I never budget at zero. I do budget at zero, but I always include a little bit amount of money for miscellaneous spending because things happen, things come up and stuff like that. So I think for the month of January, my miscellaneous, which is my unplanned spending, I'm budgeting at $470.37. Now for my paycheck, I can pretty much put a budget amount on the lowest amount of my paycheck because of course I'm going to work and stuff like that, so I know my lowest amount that I've gotten paid has been $2,100. So but I was actually paid $2,117.93. So far in the month of January, the paychecks has been over $2,100. So I think I'm gonna continue on with the $2,100 amount. My last paycheck was actually $2,200, but I think 21 is probably gonna be my sweet spot because that last check, I think I had a little bit of overtime on that one, but this is the one that I don't even have I don't even have 80 hours that pay period, so I know that this is pretty much going to be my lowest. And then from content, of everything that I do online, totals up to $5,334.83. Yes, you heard me correctly, more than my full-time job that I get paid on a month-to-month basis. You hear me? The content money was $5,334.83. I could pay my mortgage with that. I could pay all my bills with that and still have savings left over. You get what I'm saying? So when I say pick up the phone and record the content, that's exactly what I mean. I'm not doing anything fancy that you cannot do. You could do this too. So my total income for this pay period is $7,676.17, which just blows my mind. It just blows my mind, or whatever. But please remember that this money is inconsistent. This content creation money is inconsistent. It may not be like this next month. It may not be like this the next month after that. It may not be like this the next month after that. That's why you're gonna see how I actually break this content money down so that on those slow days, on those days I'm not making $5,000, your girl still have money in the bank. But then we get into, I go back to my calendar. This is my calendar right here. I've already filled this in. I filled this in at the beginning of the month, and I go ahead and I write all of my bills and expenses on here, everything that's going to be taken care of with a paycheck. And then I highlight those bills and expenses with a different color. The color represent the paycheck. So we got paid on the 16th, so everything highlighted in blue is going to be taken care of with this paycheck. Y'all know my stuff is on automated draft. Now, I recommend automatic draft. However, you got to know what you got coming in your account, and you got to know exactly what you got coming out your account. Automatic draft is not for everybody. I would suggest you doing the calendar portion and then just maybe waking up in the morning and actually paying those things and kind of like budgeting out the money that way, because automatic draft is not for everybody. Sometimes we forget that we have things on automatic draft when we're supposed to have cancel it, or sometimes you just don't have enough money. Let's just be honest. Sometimes you just don't have enough money because you have been swiping that card, and the stuff hasn't actually cleared through the banking account just yet, and you think that you have a certain type of a certain amount of money in there, and come to find out that bill hasn't been cleared through that banking account. That's why I always have Sunday as the day that I go back, look at my workbook, look at my calendar portion, and see have these bills cleared through this account just yet. And if I know that the bills hasn't cleared yet, I need to go ahead and automatically subtract that from my brain or whatever, and know that I don't have that amount, that what I see in my account, I don't have that amount because certain things hasn't came out just yet. It may be just still pending. So I wouldn't suggest automatic draft if you're brand new, starting out or whatever like that, and don't know what all you have coming in and how much you got going out. But I would definitely recommend you writing it down somewhere, you putting it inside of your spreadsheet, and just looking at your budget every single day. I'm going to link my budget bundle down below in the description box. It comes with this budget workbook that I got on the screen, also with other pages as well. Part of the budget workbook, it comes with the budget spreadsheet, a debt tracker, and a savings tracker. So it helps you overall with your finances. Now let me go back to my worksheet. Now the next thing I do is I list out all of the bills and expenses. Like I said before, the first thing I focus on, of course, is savings and stuff like that. If you go back and watch my monthly budget video of how I actually set up my monthly budget without using cash or whatever, I'm gonna link that video after this one. You will see that I always prioritize saving first. Anytime money hits my account, I'm gonna automatically save some. Sometimes the money don't even hit my account yet. Like with retirement and investing, the money don't even hit my account just yet. That automatically comes out of my check before money is even deposited into my banking account. Then once money is deposited into my banking account, then I'm gonna transfer that $50 into the Roth IRA. Now I am still trying to max out the Roth IRA. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that part just yet. I'll wait till I get down to that portion. But I am trying to max out the Roth IRA from 2025 because I still have up until April to do that. And then I'm also trying to max out 2026 one as well. So keep your fingers crossed for me on that. Y'all know I just started the Roth IRA in October of last year when I was doing the 75 hard and stuff like that. I'm also gonna link that video after this one as well, because that was a really good video to kind of like get my butt back in shape on checking in with my finances, because your girl was overspending. And so far since the month of December, I have not been overspending, and my goal for 2026 is to not overspend in none of my categories. So keep your fingers crossed for me on that. So once I take care of once I write down all of the bills and expenses, I figure out how much that amount comes up to, and so far that comes up to $833.08. That includes my retirement, investing, Roth IRA, food, gas, short-term disability, my phone bill, and then gas again, because I put $60. I budget $60 a week for gas. Then next, I take out half of the mortgage and utilities, because I could take it out on that last paycheck before it's actually time to pay it, but I don't like to take out a big chunk of my money. Like, I'd rather just split it up when I have it. I could literally go ahead and just pay it all, but I'm so used to doing it this way. So I take out half of the amount of money, which is $875. I'm taking that out, and so $875 for that. And then now that brings my total for bills and expenses up to $1,708.08. I'm gonna throw a little bit of money in there for myself and for my son, just in case we do some things, just in case he wants something, just in case the school say he got a field trip going on, something that I don't really actually plan for. If I go out to eat, because my homegirl already is saying that she want to go to the Mexican, so I'm putting a little bit of money to side for myself this pay period, and I'm giving myself $150. I'm putting aside $50 for my son, and now that brings the total of $1,908.08. That's what it brings it up to. Now I do my income and I subtract all of the expenses, and I'm left with $5,708 $768.09. Now, I don't use my content money to pay bills or anything like that because my full-time job pretty much really take care of that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with paying bills with content money, if that's what you choose to do. If I needed to pay a bill or two or whatever with the content money, I would definitely do that. However, my full-time job actually takes care of all of my bills and expenses. It actually really takes care of me as well, where I can have a little bit of money to have a little bit of fun with. I can also save with the money, all of the things. So I'm pretty much can put this money and do the business stuff that I need to do with the content money. So now I go ahead and subtract out that content money, which was $5,334.83. And in reality, I am left with $433.26 remaining in my checking account. So that's what I'm going to have remaining. It may be a little bit more. It may be a little bit less, depending on if I go over these amounts. But your girl been trying to stay up under these amounts. So hopefully it will be a little bit more than the $433.26. Now let's get into how I actually do the content money. So once that money is in that account, because that's where it actually is, this money is not all into my personal account. These money is in different account. I have a account for retirement. I have an account for investing. I have my Roth IRA account with Fidelity. I have my main checking account. Then I have a checking account for my mortgage and utilities. Then I have a checking account for like fund spending. It's like I got all of these accounts, and I don't really even suggest you doing all of that. I just suggest you really having like maybe 2 checking account, 2 savings account, that type of thing. So that way you can have your savings separate from your checking, from your bill money and that type of stuff. And I wouldn't suggest you putting your bill money and your savings in the same account. Have those accounts separately, because once you overdraft in something, sometimes they pull that money from your savings account and put it back in your checking. That's what they were doing with my account. So I had to get 2 different accounts so that won't happen, and I can be disciplined enough to not overspend. So once I take this content creation money, or once I get paid this content creation money, the first thing I do is set aside 25%, and I put that in a separate account as well. And I don't know if 25% is the magic number or if that's the right number or whatever like that, but that's just what I do to make my math a little bit simpler. I just split my content money in 4 ways. So 25% goes to taxes, 25% goes into savings. So the savings is basically for, okay, those times that I'm not making enough money and I probably can't cover the expenses and things like that, or maybe I'm short on the taxes or whatever. I can have money in this saving that I can pull from this saving and actually pay that shortage. Or if I don't have enough money, or I didn't get paid that month, I can still be able to take care of the bills and expenses that comes with the business. Then I also put 25% aside for the expenses. And when I say expenses, I'm talking about the subscription that I actually use, such as TubeBuddy, vidIQ, Canva, CapCut, what else do I use? Grammarly when I'm writing my blogs and stuff like that. Like different little tools that I actually use with subscription. I think I have about maybe $200 worth of subscription or whatever. I also use that money to put back into the business to educate myself if I want to go buy a course, if I want to, invest into a coaching program where I want to, kind of like further my skills when it comes to this content stuff, because I don't know everything. I'm still learning as well. I'm a lifelong learner. I love learning about different things. If somebody gonna teach me, especially about making some extra money, I am a lifelong learner, and I'm always just investing back into myself. I feel like that's the best investment that you can actually do, is to invest in yourself and your craft. So that's what I do with the money that I put back into the business outside of just paying the expenses. And then the last 25% goes to myself. Now, I'm still in debt. Don't get me wrong. I'm still in debt. I got student loans, and I got this house. My student loan is on the public service loan forgiveness, so I just got to ride that out until those 120 payments are completed. And then with my house, I'm not really putting anything extra on it right now. Right now, this year, my goal is solely focused on more investing. I want to learn more and more about investing. I want to max out the Roth IRA, like I was saying. And yeah, I just want to, dibble and dab into the investment world or whatnot, because, your girl is pretty much getting tired of going to the job, and she pretty much probably want to retire early. That's like one of my goals. hopefully I can be able to retire early. If not early, whenever I'm able to retire, I want to be able to just do that, because there's a lot of people in my job that can actually retire and they are choosing to still work. Hey, whatever works for them, but for me and for me and my household, whenever I can, I am. And I'm not saying that I won't be working outside of that, but it won't be getting up early in the morning, in the cold, in the rain, in the snow, and trying to deliver no mail. It's going to be clocking into this content type of work and helping, my fellow people out, the younger generation out, with the knowledge that I have, the mistakes that I have made, the things I've learned, that type of thing. Like, I can't wait to be able to actually do that full time. So that's pretty much what I do with the content money, split it 4 ways into that, and that's how I get everything down to a zero-based budget. So as you can see, it's not that you don't have it's not that you have $0 in your account. It's just you're giving every dollar a job to do, so that way you know exactly where your money is going. Like I said before, if you are interested in the budget bundle, because you need to be getting yourself under control in 2026 as well. I don't want to be the only one out here making money and budgeting her money. You need to be doing the same exact thing. Even if you're not making extra money right now, you still need to be grateful, blessed, and thankful for the money that you already have in your account, and you need to be budgeting that money accordingly. So go ahead and get the budget bundle. I'm going to link it down below in the description box, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.